Yeah. My name is Jeremy Hollick. I'm the MD of Risctec Holdings. And on behalf of us, I'd like to thank you very much for taking time to come and spend with us. Many of you we saw at our seminar about 4 weeks ago. Great to see you guys back, and for those that are new, it's really nice to meet you. Many of you do know who Risctec Nexus is. Some of you do not, so I'll just spend a minute or two on Risctec Nexus. What we've done, what we've put together is a conglomerate of 3 companies that have been involved in the IT industry for many, many years, 14 years, 17 years. And we've put together the technologies to be able to provide you with a single company, a single support company that can have a look at your business requirements, which is quite unique because we're finding that vendors are out to try and just capture your budget and sell you whatever they can sell you. We try and look at it in a different way. We try to understand what your business requirements are and then put together different solutions and discuss it with you on what would be the best business solution for you. We can then design it, supply it, install it, integrate it, and support it. The 3 companies we've put together is Risctec, or Risctec Technology Integration. We're a South African company based in Johannesburg, Durban, Cape Town, Port Elizabeth. We have offices where we've expanded into Africa, here in Harare. We have offices in Tanzania. We're putting it in Cameroon. We have in Maputo as well. We will look at Lusaka and Nairobi as the next ports of call that we're going into. The second company is Nexus Open Systems, who is traditionally a Sun hardware vendor. And we've put that together with the skills of Risctec, and we've incorporated Alpha Systems, who is an Oracle software house, providing you with a one-stop shop for IT infrastructure. What it does add is that you have the ability to look at a solution independent of a vendor. So we provide solutions from Oracle, IBM, HP, Fujitsu, EMC, NetApp, Juniper, and Cisco. Putting it on top is the product we use as TeamQuest, who Alf Benson will be talking to you about today. So we believe we've got a really exciting situation coming on. We did tell you 4 weeks ago that we are opening up a state-of-the-art training center. That is due to start breaking, I wouldn't say breaking ground, but starting building in about 2 weeks' time, of which we will have a really state-of-the-art training center, of which we will provide training courses, but also provide facilities if anybody else wants to do the training in our facilities there. Okay, so that's a little introduction into Risctec Nexus. What I'd like to talk to you a little bit about is what we really got here today. I thought you'd probably get worried that I wasn't going to get onto the subject, but many years ago when we had mainframes, things like system performance, system monitoring, capacity planning was just part of the mainframe. Mainframes were very, very expensive. If you wanted to upgrade it, if you wanted more resources, it was very, very expensive. So you had to carefully monitor the usage of your systems, the performance of your systems, because it would be a mega capex outlay to buy more RAM or more CPUs or more disks. With today's current virtualization period going on, it's ended up in a different environment. People are now buying another server. Oh, we need a server for this, or we need another server for that. Or they're virtualizing their servers. So you're ending up with a lot of discrete servers in your infrastructure. A lot of them are used quite well. A lot of them are running really poorly used. So people are using products like VMware to maximize the utilization of your systems. What has that actually done? It may have caused you to reduce your capex. But what people haven't realized, it's really caused a massive increase in OpEx. You now have to administer these systems. You now have to make sure that they're backed up, that there's virus protection, that if something goes wrong, you've got maintenance contracts, you've got different servers. And this is where the problems are coming on. So what we want to talk to you about and let you understand where the industry is going, here and overseas, is what can you do to monitor your systems? Because now you have 3 major operating systems: Microsoft, Linux, and Unix. And even within them, you have disparate operating systems. How do you manage these systems? How do you monitor the systems? How do you know when something's going to go wrong? Second part, how do you plan for your future? How do you know when you're going to need more resources? Can you actually justify it? Are you going to say to management, right now I need more CPUs? Yep, okay, let's add more CPUs. And suddenly you find 5 weeks, 2 months down the road, you need more RAM or you need more disk. Can you justify it? And this is what we'll be talking about with TeamQuest. Can you model your environment? These are the things that IT people need to understand and need to be able to answer the questions to the executive. So I hope you're going to find it very, very interesting. We're going to break after about 40-45 minutes to give Alpha a bit of a break. We'll go out and have tea and some sandwiches. Then we'll come back for the second portion. And then afterwards we invite you to come and have a drink and follow up any discussion that you would like. All right. Thank you very much, and welcome to Alf Benson from Sweden. It's his first time in Harare, first time in Zimbabwe. So let's hope he enjoys himself. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, Jeremy started to talk about monitoring and performance management and all these things that we started with 20 years ago as TeamQuest. I'll just see if I can get rid of this. Because it's warmer here than in Sweden. So I'm going to take you, the first session now for 5 minutes is going to be about what's happening in this world and how capacity planning has become something that is more interesting, more important for C-level and for management and for the business. And then I'm going to, at the end of the presentation, after the break, we will go into how you can do this within your IT organization and starting the IT and so on. So if you find the first one visionary or should I speak up a little bit? Okay. Sorry. So if I speak a little bit strange, that's because I'm Swedish. So if you start to talk something to me
strange.
Yes. So if you say something strange to me, I will respond in Swedish. Okay? That's a threat. And then you do like this if you want me to speak higher or keep it down. Okay. Okay, so let's start. Let's see if this can start working. The agenda for the first session here is we're going to talk about analytics, the power of analytics and how you can make use of those in your IT environment. How to optimize the IT infrastructure and combine it with the business needs that your companies are facing. Talk about the desired state and results and the approach, how we will make that happen, how we will automate this. Because you can of course sit with your Excel and you can do things manually, but you really want to have an automated solution. And this is what the first section will talk about. Now, Forrester made a quiz to C-level people. What is your business worried about? And the answer was adjusting to what we know is changing in the market. That's fairly reasonable. But they were not talking about adjusting to what we don't know is going to happen. What they know, true business visibility is limited. So what we know in our businesses is the sales growth, seasonality, customer feedback. What C-level people don't know about is how well the services are performing. Why customer experience is poor or are poor, and what IT knows. This is a standard conflict in most organizations. You have business, you put pressure on the IT side, and you have to live up to it. You don't always know what the business is doing, and they don't know what the IT is doing. Make sense? I would moderate it down. Business decisions today, and this is not Zimbabwe, this is not South Africa, this is not Sweden, this is global. This based on a P of information, when there is so much more information. IBM research have investigated research that there's about 2.7 zettabytes. I don't even know what that is, how much that is. It's probably a lot. Zettabytes of information out there. And every second, or every 1.2 year, 14 months, 15 months, it doubles. Of course, what is good data? Now, this is where you will have business analytics and stuff like that. But the fact is that there is about $600 billion that only US companies lose per year because of bad data. And not having the right information at hand. And especially that goes for IT. I mean, we have IT, it's a beautiful thing. We can combine, we can do a lot of analytics, we can do it automatically. We have, from an IT side, we have probably the best perspective of every information that is in the company. But we don't leverage on this because it's a mess. It's not standardized. By its nature, it's not measurable. Systems can't talk to each other. It isn't easily presented and understood. And typically, if I ask anyone, you would probably say that you have monitoring solutions for Oracle, for Sun, for your IBM, AIX, HP virtualization, and all these things, plus end-to-end response time monitoring, plus business, plus your fiscal year reporting, data center planning, power consumption, all these things. Imagine that you can bring that together and get information that you can act on. This is the key for the future. Oops. There was a survey made by Kelton, and they asked C-levels over, I think it was somewhat 500 companies, what their current priorities are, and about 19% in, let's see here now, 2012, 2013, was looking at data analytics improve business decision making. 2013, it was 40%. So this is definitely a trend that the business now have realized that we cannot go on collecting all this information. We need to have some way of reducing it down to actions, information that we can act on. So far, does it make sense, this presentation? Okay. So, in data center optimization, in IT optimization, in business optimization, the challenges we have is that we have traditional metrics. Now we have a monitoring tool. It gives us an alert. But the thing is that what we see now and what TeamQuest, what is our flagship today, is we put this together and we apply something like sabermetrics. Have you seen a movie called Moneyball with Brad Pitt?
No.
I haven't either, but this is an American presentation. It's all about, you will understand the concept. It's baseball. It could be cricket. It could be anything. But this guy, Brad Pitt, he has he's a trainer for a small farmer team. He can't afford to buy the big players. So what he does is that he applies statistics and see who of the players were involved in a winning game. And he starts to put together all the statistics. And he picks out the right players that has been involved in the most of the successful games. They might not be the one that scored, but they might be the one that passed the ball. In soccer, because I'm a soccer fan, so that would be interesting for me. But and then he applies this, and then he starts to recruit new people and new key players to his game, and they win. They win the American League, and they pay a factor 10 of the salary levels that is normal in the industry. Just by applying, and that's why it's called sabermetrics, because it's standard American baseball society, something like that, or whatever it is, I don't know. But it's called sabermetrics. That has become a buzzword. Apply more intelligent analysis, more powerful analytics upon your environment. This goes for, he applied it on a baseball team. Now we will show you how you can apply it to your IT and your business. It's all about measuring and analyze what matters. You will see, and I mean, this is a fear for many people, many in companies today, that there is a democratization or the democratization of information. That means that information is spread all over the place. IT has information about how your services is running, but you don't have everything. You need to have information about, from the marketing department, what launches are we making, what new market programs, and how then we bring that in so we can justify new investments. And then we also have to keep track of the utilization of our own resources, so we don't run out of power or overinvest. Because there is, I mean, gone are the days when you can invest tons and tons of money into hardware. You have to start running your IT shop efficiently. Even if Risctec probably will take your money and they will be happy, that's not the way to do it. You should try to run your IT shop efficiently. Other optimization challenges is the inclusion of legacy or non-virtualized hardware resources, interoperability of multiple vendors, converged infrastructure systems, as you have different types of data centers, different type of technology, and management of this remains a mystery because you have different tools for different environments. Now your storage guys, they will have some tools, they don't talk to the server guys, they don't talk to the network guys, and they're all pointing finger at each other when they have a problem. And you sit there and say, who is to blame? So this is a real problem. So you have to have a strategy to handle this. Because what's coming is you have cloud, private, public, you have virtualization, you have something that is just recently been talked about, that's a software-defined data center. Changing demands on your enterprise IT. This is, the software-defined data center is not something that you see in many places, but it's started to get talked about. Gartner is talking about it. It's probably like cloud. If cloud is another word for outsourcing or insourcing or service providers, but it's software-defined data center will be something to talk about. Now, in this, there will be challenges, increasing planning, increasing optimization. You can't just run your business like you did before. There will be new challenges that you haven't faced before. And it's all about data, big data, tons of data that you need to reduce down to something that you can have a grip on, you can understand. You hear me over there, brother? Is it okay? Good. Management is way more than just monitoring. Data center management will place a premium that will give you an advantage if you know and you can get real-time data collections out of your environment, and then you can embed and do analytics upon this. And that you can span multiple data sources in an intelligent way. And this is where the power of analytics comes in. Automated analytics that you apply on top of this. So you see where I'm going? I'm going into this where you have tons of data again and you apply automated analytics. Analytics will have different goals. It will have increasing your efficiency, your agility, decrease risk, decrease cost, and also automated autopsy or root cause analysis. I mean, you probably have a lot of people that just sits and do firefighting. You have a problem, your service is not performing, you have a service level violation, you have people sitting into this. Now, is this something that cannot be automated? No, you can automate it. A lot of these standard tasks can be automated, and you can keep the knowledge in the tool instead of within the people. And I know that Zimbabwe, just like Sweden or US, we have this problem that we have skilled people, but should they be sit and look at standard problems? No, they should be used where they need, where we need them, and let the machines do the work. Find the problem, present it. This is the way to go. Other goals, workload-centric optimization, that is like services. You focus around services optimization, cost, energy. I noticed that here you have sometimes a lack of energy here, you have a lack of electricity. Do you have quotas, how much a company can use as well? Like if you exceed a certain threshold, then you pay more? Okay.
Well, it's built into the rating for
Okay.
the power use. The more you use, the more you end up paying.
Is it like this?
Yeah, it will be for a premium,
Okay.
yeah. So that's
Okay.
what
I have a very nice example then in the next session about power consumption. Okay, so now I'm coming into, I mean, you as IT people, you know the IT data. Now, what you really need to do is align this to the business and bring in the business data. But then you will see that in the marketplace, vendors, IT companies don't have tools that accepts business data. There is tools. There is like SAS Institute, where you just throw everything into. But then you have to qualify the data. You have to see to that the data is in a way, in a format that they can read and so on. This means, this is why we say ETL, that's export, transfer, and load. Export the data from your current business environment into the IT. But many companies don't accept that. If it's customer records, they don't accept that you actually go in and copy that data, because that's a violation of integrity. So there's a lot of laws around this as well. So really, looking at the data where it sits without this duplicating of data is key here. You have manual data, you have dynamic, and you have virtual everything that you also need to keep track of. And then as IT people, we don't have expertise in business data because it's really not presented and understood by us. And we never have time to deal with it. And what can we do with it? Where do we start? What's the value? These are all questions that you probably ask yourself. So today, as it looks in most companies, I would say, is that there is a lack of understanding of the relationship of dynamic technology to services. So we're running risk of over-provisioning or under-provisioning, which means either way we have a high cost. If you have over-provisioning, then you basically invest and you have money stuck in resources that are not used. If you have under-provisioning, then you're running into service level violations. Which means that you have not only the service risk, but also a market risk. If you're into banking and the ATM machines doesn't work, or they work a little bit shaky, you lose the customer to the next bank. There's too many tools and processes, they are siloed, it's very hard to talk to each other and so on. And the vendors in this space try to lock you in. The IBMs, the HP, the Oracles, all these big vendors, they try to lock you in with their solution. And this is where TeamQuest have taken a different approach, and I will talk about that later. But we actually are open for everything. We don't lock you in anyway. You can use whatever tools you have. So the desired state of your IT and your business is to have a continuous optimization going on. Always know where and when there is performance problems, and that how they will affect the bottom line from a business point of view. Identify the cost and performance, inefficient use in support of a business process, and eliminate them, reduce them, and optimize the customer experience, because the customers at the end will be paying for this, and they will be paying for the customers, for the vendors that can serve them with this. And here comes things like prediction. Predict, resolve, prevent, and how you will use the data that you have to prevent you from running into a situation time after time. Answer all the questions from day to day. Doesn't matter if you grow your business or you decline your business. What's the risk if I do this? What expectations do we have? Do we care? Is it if I have alerts from my monitoring tool and that doesn't correlate with customer reaction, is that really a good alert, or is people running for an alert that doesn't matter? These are the things that you want to know. I mean, I can have monitoring tools that gives me a lot of thousands of alarms, and I have tons of people that runs after them. But if no customer is affected by this, then there is no use. Look at what's matter. Make intelligent use of the information you have. Yeah, how many of those do we have? Need, when, changes compared to last reporting period. What's the capacity forecast? Now we're a bank, we're going to increase our number of branches. How will that affect our infrastructure? Given that we have so and so many customers, given that marketing is doing their thing, we're introducing a new smart card, we're going from building society to banking, so like somebody was saying here, how will that affect my infrastructure? And where can I get the data?